And now it's time for Music Theory at Home with Mark Grizzard.
18, 19, 20. Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. I have edited the syllabus slightly, so let me walk through that with you really quickly. This is all posted to ReggieNet, and I just want to take a look at these next 2 weeks. So, homework that's going to be posted tonight is just basic skills 7B, 8B, 9B, and 10B. You can do as little or as much of that as you like. I'll collect any of those that you complete Friday. And of course, on Friday, I will post Quiz 4. Quiz 4 is going to be due Monday at 11:59 p.m. Then, next week, the last week of classes, we'll collect Quiz 4, and then on Monday morning, I'm going to post a final exam review, some answers to that final exam review, which I'll walk through on YouTube, and then the final exam itself. And you will have that entire week to finish the final exam. Your final exam for this class is going to be due Monday, May 4th at 9 a.m. So I would just like to clarify a couple of points. The final exam review is purely optional. This could be great fodder for you to make sure you're feeling good before you take a stab at the final exam. And if you are giving it a shot, feel free to send it to me so I can quote-unquote grade it, even though this will not really be a graded assignment. And chat with me over email or Zoom if you like. Of course, feel free to reach out to me about the final exam itself, but I'll have to be a little more cryptic as you spend one whole week working on the final exam. That will be due Monday, May 4th at 9 a.m., and then this class will be done for the semester. I know I'm sure you have a lot of weird wrapping up of various classes here at the end of the semester. I want to make sure you guys feel okay about the end of Music 101 and, of course, the final exam, which is what we're pointing towards. For right now, though, let's take a look at Quiz 4 practice as we get ready for Quiz 4. And I'd like to show you what I did on this. So in part 1 here, we see Roman numerals. We are asked to analyze them and then resolve them. And we start at number 2 here, which is in the key of C sharp minor, and we determine it is a 7 diminished 6th chord. B sharp is our leading tone, and that needs to resolve up to C sharp. The tritone inherent in this 7 diminished 6th chord makes us want to resolve the alto F sharp down to an E. Now, both our bass and our soprano are on D sharps. What I chose to do, resolve to a 1 chord, that omits the 5th, making sure that our bass and soprano do not have parallel octaves. I will say it would also have been correct if you had resolved it to a 1/6 chord, so that your soprano walks down to scale degree 1, and your bass, to avoid parallel octaves, walks up to scale degree 3 to create a 1/6 chord. Either of those answers would be correct. Number 3 here is a 7/2 diminished 6/5 chord. Our leading tone is in the alto, it needs to resolve up. Our chordal 7th is in the tenor, it needs to resolve down. And the smoothest thing to do to avoid parallel fifths, or diminished 5th to perfect 5th, is for our soprano to resolve down to a G, and our bass to resolve up to a G as well. It might have been tempting for you to move your bass down to an E flat, but that would have been parallel fifths. So 7/2 diminished 6/5 to 1/6. And then finally, in the key of B minor, we definitely see this raised leading tone again. After all these diminished chords, we might have been tempted to throw some sort of 7 on here, but that same snowman stack process results in a 5/4-2 chord. What are our tendency tones? A sharp needs to go up to B, and E needs to go down to D. A soprano that ended on a D natural would have also been okay. It's not a tendency tone, we just want to avoid part writing errors. Okay, hope you feel all right about that, and I hope the notes I make on your Quiz 4 practice make sense to you. Part 2, realizing this following passage in SATB voicing and then providing a contextual analysis. Of course, there are a few right answers here, and I'd like to walk you guys through the very real struggle I endured in order to complete this myself. So here's my process. I wanted to start with the hardest part first. I see these dashes in measure 3, and I say, oh boy, it's a cadential 6/4. 5, 6 to 5, and 4 to 3. It's a little annoying, but those Roman numerals are telling me exactly what to do. One voice needs to go 4 above the bass to 3 above the bass. I will choose for that to be my soprano. Of course, any voice could do this. One voice needs to go 4 to 3. There it is. Another voice needs to go 6 to 5. I'm going to put that in my tenor. What is my last voice left to do? Double the bass. We always double the bass in our 6/4 chords. So I'm going to have my alto hang out on an E this whole time. If you did a half note there on your doubled voice, that's cool. Or if you had a whole note, it's fine. It's doubling the bass this entire measure because there's no chordal seventh introduced in these numerals. So I'm going to go ahead and resolve this. I want my leading tone to go up, and I might keep a common tone. And there we go. A major at the end. I've got all the elements of a cadential 6/4. Cool, so I'm going to work backwards here now that I feel good about that being done. I need a 4 chord here, so first thing I did was just voice the nice 4 chord. Then I checked my work. Wait a second, I'm a little nervous that all the voices are moving up together. There might be a problem here. Yes, there is a problem. Alto and bass are in parallel octaves. I gotta fix that. How do I fix that? Just generally think about smooth, contrary motion might solve problems before they start. So instead of having everybody move up, I'm going to see if I can smooth this out and start higher in my upper voices to move down and not get into trouble. So I revoiced it like this. Okay, cool, feeling all right about that. Let me move to the next difficult spot, this 7 diminished 6 going to 1/6. What is my first step in resolving this leading tone chord? Resolving the leading tone. So I'm going to choose to throw it in my alto. Right now my alto is ending on da 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 da. Maybe having my alto take the G sharp to A motion here. Ba da 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 da. Will be a nice fun little alto line. So while there are many right answers, I went ahead and tried that. Okay, leading tone, done. Now I'm worried about this whole tritone business in my leading tone chords. Scale degree 4. Okay, maybe I'll just go ahead and have my tenor do that. It can handle the fa mi. All right, so here's what I have so far. Okay, that leaves my soprano to do some doubling. Okay, maybe I didn't think too hard and I just had it start on this D to go. Okay, let me take a look at this. Wait, no, I can't do that because that's parallel octaves with the tenor. Okay, what's my other choice? Oh, right, doubling the bass is a good idea. So what if I had my soprano on a B? No, I can't do that because it's parallel octaves with the bass. Well, so obviously my soprano can't be on a D and it can't move from a B to a C sharp. So maybe it'll go from a B down to an A. Yeah, sure. I don't feel great about this. It's down to a unison with the alto. Ugh. And then, oh, wait a second. Now I'm looking at my tenor and my bass, and they're on a parallel octaves. So I couldn't have my tenor on this C sharp anyway. This is the process we're going through. So instead of starting from scratch, I might take a look at the possibility of just trading this activity around the various voices. I still need one voice to move from scale degree 4 to scale degree 3, and I've already got my tenor doing that. The fact that my tenor can't end up on the C sharp, I'm just going to go ahead and swap my tenor and my soprano. And okay, is that all right? Now I've doubled my bass. I have my tritone up in the upper voices here. And my tenor and my bass are on the same pitch and are avoiding parallel octaves. I think that's okay. Great. So now at the very end here, I will start this exercise. One of the most wonderful things to do in these sort of passing chords is a voice exchange. And I have the beginnings of one here in the tenor and the bass. So let me just finish that out by starting my tenor on a C sharp. And now look at this beautiful voice exchange. Absolutely, just sort of trade notes. Okay, what else could I do here? Maybe my soprano could also start on a C sharp, but as long as it doesn't move to a B, I'm not in trouble. So why not? Oh, my soprano start on a C sharp, and that leaves me to, sure, I'll fill out a full triad. I could have omitted the fifth, but I might as well have my alto on an E. And now I have created this. Okay, I feel all right about that. Maybe I could have done something else, but I avoided any parallel motion and satisfactorily resolved all the tendency tones in this exercise and realized these Roman numerals. Cool. Last step, a contextual analysis. We notice that the tonic area of this phrase takes us through these first three chords. These opening three numerals basically are the tonic area. Tonic is just sort of decorated with this leading tone chord. And now predominant. Ba, then dominant. Stepwise motion. Perfect authentic cadence. Cool. So hopefully the notes I have on your practice make sense to you. Let's take a look at the next page. Part 3. Analyze this choral work. What key are we in? G flat major. I know the decision between G flat major and E flat minor might have been a little problematic because this is only part of a phrase and we end on an A flat in the bass, so we don't have a whole lot of information. Nonetheless, I don't see any D naturals, and we start on a root position, G flat major chord. That's enough information for me to call this G flat major. And now we can just go through our normal process to determine 1, 2, 4, 3, 1, 6, 4, 2, 6, 5, 6, 6, 4, 2, 6, 5, 6, 6, 4, 2, 7. No non-chord tones whatsoever. What type of 6/4 chord is used in measures 1 and 3? A passing 6/4. It is just on its way from one inversion of a 2 chord to another inversion in a 2 chord. So while this was not asked of you, I could throw in a contextual analysis and recognize that what is the composer here doing? Just decorating the predominant. So chill, so predominant. It would be boring if we just went, the lake lay blue below the hill. I mean, that'd be kind of jazzy, but nonetheless, what is he doing? He's adding interest by walking this bass note down, by having some voice exchanges here in measure 1, bass and the bottom of our upper staff here, which is of course going to be the tenor part. And then the soprano in measure 3 is this voice exchange. Decorating this predominant area with passing 6/4 chords. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Okay, and in part 4, again, determining the key might have been difficult because we just have a part of a phrase here, but the cadence here and that C sharp should have been clue enough for you to say that we are in D minor. With that information, sure, that's a 6 chord at the beginning, a couple of passing tones, definitely a cadential feeling here, 5 going to 1, and what is happening just before the root position 5, the notes of our tonic triad in second inversion. What a characteristic and satisfying thing to do that really establishes the dominant area. We show that by having our numerals present 5, 6 to 5, and 4 to 3. This is a cadential 6/4. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Again, the only homework is basic skills 7B, 8B, 9B, and 10B, however many of those you would like to do, whether that's none of them or all of them. Otherwise, quiz 4 will be posted on Friday. Let me know if you have any questions. 7, 8, 9, 10.